Okay, it's the update everybody's been asking for, and I've been wanting to give you. What became of the noise in our Pilot? Well, let's get into it. So as you may recall, in June I got a pretty bad oil analysis back from Blackstone. Basically had high levels of aluminum and iron in the oil. They flagged it. They said to keep an eye on things. That coupled with my suspicion that the engine had gotten louder with a knocking type noise, and being at 58,400 miles, I made a phone call that day to my dealership, and they got me right in within an hour. I had the car there and it was in their bay. They actually met me with one of their master technicians. He read the oil report. He loved the report, but he said he already knew what was wrong with it just by reading the report, but they had to do a diagnosis. And he didn't tell me anything at that time. He said he was going to get it right into his bay and look it over and try to get to the bottom of it. So I actually waited while they did this on site. So without further ado, let me show you what they found.
Good morning, my name is Jim. I'm a technician assigned to work in your vehicle. Came in for a knock noise. You had an oil report, which I thought was fantastic. And yeah, long story short, pulled the spark plugs for bank 2, cylinder 4, 5, and 6. So those are the easiest to get to. You can see here, spark plugs are nice and clean, indicating a nice clean burn. However, when you scope cylinder 6 here, you can find the hole. There we go. And look inside the bore. You see the excessive scoring right here. That's what it should look like right there. Let's see here. Compare and contrast. This side is good, this side is bad. Now cylinder 6. Let's see, cylinder 5 is heavily scored as well. You can see the deep gouging based off the shadows and the light right there. Pretty gouged bad. Cylinder 4 I can't really get to without spinning the engine, because it is at top dead center, but you can see right here some light scoring there. Long and short is you're going to require a short block to be replaced. So this concludes your visual multi-point inspection.
So yeah, that wasn't good, and it wasn't what I was expecting them to find. I'll be honest. I was expecting them to find that there was issues with the connecting rod clearances at the crank, because that's what it sounded like to me. So what was said, so here's some facts, I should say. Our Pilot was number 3 that they had there in the service department with the same issue, waiting for a short block. So they had 2 others in front of us that had been there for about a week, waiting for they had their short blocks in and everything. What the delay was on those 2 was actually head gasket kits for both heads were on back order from Honda. So long story short, consequently we had 2 cars in front of us before ours was going to get repaired. It was about a week and a half. They called us. They said they had the gasket kits in and they were going to work on our car the next day, and they did, but we had to go out of town. We had a loaner. They set us up with a loaner. Can't say enough about the dealership. And we picked our car up about 16 days after we dropped it off. It was complete. They had replaced the short block. So short block, if you don't know, that's basically everything below the intake and valve covers, and they reuse your oil pan and a couple other items if it goes the way I think it does. But they put everything back on it. So basically it's just an engine block with the crank, bearings, pistons, connecting rods all assembled. So far, the car's been good. We've got about 62,000 miles on it. We've been doing a lot of traveling this summer. And so far, so good. I did ask the tech and the advisor when I picked it up, what do they think caused this? And is it something I'm doing in my maintenance routine? Because I go by the maintenance minder, and they both assured me this had nothing to do with how the car was being maintained, and that they feel there's something going on with the engines inside, being that mine was number 3 just on the lot waiting to get fixed. And they've had several others, or I think the quote was, we've had a lot of others come in like this with this same problem. So at this point, I'm going to keep maintaining the car the way I've maintained it. I've looked at a bunch of schematics on the engine, just seeing how it's built and put together. This engine does have squirters that shoot up at the bottom of the pistons. I think something's failing in that system, and for whatever reason, the oil is either low pressure or whatever, however that squirter system works. I've seen some things where it only kicks in at certain RPMs, at higher RPMs to cool the piston and add additional lubrication. So maybe something's failing and not kicking those squirters, and I don't know how they work, so I don't want to create any internet rumors here. But again, I don't think this has anything to do with the oil. It was Mobil 1. It was a Wix filter. I've used Mobil 1 forever in my cars with other oils. I just think there's something in the engine that is letting loose on these Earth Dream pilots. So let's see other notes here. The oil, when you look at the oil in the oil analysis, the oil didn't break down. It had a lot of life left. All the additive was still there. It's not like I outdrove the oil and something happened to the engine. Seriously, in the last 1,000 to 2,000 miles of this oil change, the engine just started getting loud. I got lucky, and it happened just before it went out of warranty. So new engine's running great. Everything sounds good. It's smooth. We're going to be taking a vacation here in a couple weeks with a road trip, car full of people and luggage. So I'm glad we caught it and got it taken care of ahead of time. So my recommendation, do what you feel comfortable with. If you want to change your oil every 5,000 miles, go for it. But I don't think that will prevent this problem from happening to your engine. I think if your engine's going to have this happen, it's just going to happen regardless how often you change your oil. Other thoughts and ramblings here. I really don't have any others. So let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think the oil, if this was a oil issue and maintenance minder issue? Personally, I don't. I won't argue with you. I'll respect your opinion. I may counter anything you say, though, but I won't argue with you in the comments. But if you suspect your knocking's getting louder, everybody talks about these Earth Dreams engines and how loud they are. And I too was told, hey, it's just a loud engine from the factory, but it started getting louder. If you think it's getting louder, you may want to ring up Blackstone, get a kit, send your oil in. Even if you've never had it analyzed before, they have enough data that they can tell you, hey, these numbers aren't right. Oh, and one other thing I want to go over. So the day that I took the car in, before I took it to the dealership, I pulled a sample. I have the tool where I can drop it down in the dipstick, and I pulled the sample out and packaged it up, and I got it out to Blackstone that night or the next morning. That oil came back with counts after 1,000 miles, almost as high as my oil that had been run the 9,000 miles, like the whole interval. So in 1,000 miles, I had as much wear in the oil as 9 to 10,000 mile oil. So that this engine was sinking fast, even since the oil change, because I was able to put 1,000 miles on the car from the time, you know, I changed oil, pulled the sample, it went in, it got analyzed. We drive our cars a lot, so I'll keep the oil samples coming, let you know how the new engine's doing, and if I see anything, I will definitely keep you guys and gals posted. As always, if you enjoyed this video, click like and subscribe. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll put it down I'll answer you in the comments. Thanks for joining me today. Bye-bye.